Hey everybody, it's Lance. I wanted to talk about a couple of new things I'm doing. It's April 21st, 2021. Now, I haven't made a lot of videos in the last year or so, mainly because I think they were getting a little redundant and, it's showing the same charting, the same everything. So I have changed things a little bit. I've been experimenting and I thought I'd make a video to show some of these changes, some of these enhancements. First thing I'm doing is I'm trying to filter my direction a little bit more. I've put on an indicator here called the TrendGRaBer, and for NinjaTrader you can find it in the Futures IO section, and it's probably available for other platforms somewhere on the internet, but it's a neat little thing. It really seems to filter direction well for me. You know, relying too much on smaller time frames like a 5 range chart, for example, which is good for me in certain aspects, you can really start losing track of the direction on certain days. And the second thing I'm doing is my bread and butter trades of 40 tick stop and 40 tick target. While again, many days I do very well with that, there's other days where my win rate isn't that high, and it just doesn't add up some days. So I'm trying right now to have a different risk reward ratio of a 50 tick stop loss and a 100 tick target. Now, I may even go more than 100 tick targets if I think I can get them on certain days, but basically going for that, seeing if I can hit at least a 55-60% win ratio and just see how that averages out. So that's some of the newer things I'm trying. So I'm going to go over a couple of trades I took today, showing some of the way this works. Now this is a trade I took really early on, about 10 minutes after the open. And you can see we started getting a couple of different moves here. I went with this downward signal that was given to me. Also saw a little bit of an impulse down on the 5 range, a little bit of a pullback, got in real quick. This is a 100 tick target, 50 tick stop loss. You can see a lot of momentum was picking up there, just scrolling through this. So that was a full 100 tick winner on the first trade. Okay, on the second one, we made a nice little reversal off of this support level. I didn't really catch this move up, but I got in on a little bit of a pullback, and I thought we could get pretty close to the 100 ticks. It started hesitating right before it hit the target around 80 ticks or so. I got out with about 67 ticks or so. Okay, so two trades, pretty good, 167 ticks. Okay, something that I found from scrolling through several months of charting and doing some replays over last weekend, that a very nice trade position is generally when this 1 minute chart with this indicator pulls back to these EMA bands, corresponding also the 2 minutes pulled back to the outer EMA. Was starting to get a little bit of a W formation here, which I like. But again, without some of this to filter, I might think now we're back into a downtrend, and I would probably wait for some sort of move back up and then a pullback, and not always get in at a good price, certainly not one that's going to give me a 100 tick winner. But I didn't worry too much because I'm trying to get usually those 40 tick moves. But anyhow, here's a trade I took right when we broke through that there. And again, I have a 100 tick target on here. Now this one starts moving up pretty good. This is where I'd normally take profit, but I hang on. Got up to 70 ticks, and I'm not breaking even very quickly because I'm trying to give it room to work out the trade for these bigger targets. And I'm not liking this. You can see this pulled down here. Now it's moving back up. I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to go back up. And it starts looking really ugly at this point. So I put my target there at break even, hoping it'll come back up. And look how close it comes to stopping me out. So again, I'm going to have to refine some way of profit taking, maybe have different contracts that are taken off. But that one was break even, and kind of silly to be up 70 ticks and then break even. But again, this is a new thing for me. Okay, here's one I took that probably wasn't so good. I did see this 5 range impulsing down, the little A pullback. I saw this look like we were starting to turn purple on the bar. But my 2-minute wasn't really on board yet with a short. However, I decided to go short. And my stop was above this little A, and I thought, well, you know, and I have the 100 tick target here. And I started knowing when this second bar here was a neutral bar that I might be going the wrong way. So that was a loser. Okay, so you can see we didn't really have a lot of purple bars closing below here. I'm starting to move up beyond this swing on my 5 range, showing me maybe we're starting to resume that upper trend. We had a nice 2-minute pullback into these lower bands with some neutral bars. And kind of waited for my little V second wave here and entered. Now that's a 100 tick target as well, and I'm hoping this one will get up there since my experiments with these 100 tick targets and all that. And this one is a nice full winner. Okay, well, I did take one more trade today. I'm sorry to say that my video glitched and I do not have the video of it. Some of you are saying, no video, it didn't happen. You know, well, you'll have to take my word on it if you want. If not, that's okay. There was another move around 11. Oh, and by the way, the last move I just showed you, this one here, that happened at 10:20. And for those that have seen my webinar on the Futures.io site, you'll notice that I mentioned some of the zones in time, like 10:20 Eastern Standard Time, is when we'll often see a push, and sometimes around 11-ish as well. And that's what time this was. But we had pulled back, never lost the 2-minute signal on here, and started moving back up. I got in about right there and had another 100 tick target, and this one you could have really held on to because it went up really big. Just bang. Big nice little runner there. So anyhow, that's some of the new stuff I'm trying. Again, in a few weeks we'll know how it works out, but I definitely like having a little more filter on my direction, which these charts are giving me. That's it.